And one of the ways that you stay warm in the winter in a winter shelter is by having a lot of snow on top of it. All the snow slid off of it during the night, and so it got really, really cold.
You know, there are many stories of like people that are selling candies at school and they're making money out of it, and then you realize that that's entrepreneurship.
Knowledge is not power. Applied knowledge is power.
Now we've been talking a lot about what you were in the past and everything. Let's talk about what you're today. Who is Guillaume today? What are you doing? And what's a typical day is like for you?
So essentially, I have a few projects on the go. There's a lot of things that I always like to jump into. Lately, I've been trying to develop more of my personal brand just because what we're doing now is something that I really, really enjoy doing. I've started putting together vlogs of everything that I do as an entrepreneur. First, it was more like everything that I do. Then I went more, now I'm doing more of a switch towards like focusing on a certain perspective that I have on life in every one of my vlogs and kind of showing how I'm actually applying it in my life, right? So it's not just talking about it, it's actually showing how I apply it in my life in my vlogs. So that's one thing that I do. The other thing I do is actually this business here. So it might be hard to see. It's called North Coast Services. Mm-hmm. So it's a business that my friend Daniel actually started with the business development program. So it's a business he started. I joined a year later. We're partners in the business. We have a couple of other partners as well. It's a lot of grind. It's a lot of hustle. It's a lot of you don't know what you don't know. So it's a lot of hard work. No kidding. Another business that I'm involved with as a shareholder is called E9 Audio. So that's a tech startup. Essentially, it's another one of my friends who started this, and she tells me about this project that she has that she is looking for investors. And when I asked her, what is it? She's like, I'm going to need you to sign an NDA first, a non-disclosure agreement. And I'm like,
you know, she's not
all right.
She said that.
No, exactly. So I'm like, well, you had my curiosity. Now you've got my attention. What's up? What's going on, right? On the side, I'm starting to try to build a fitness community, which you are a part of.
Yes.
It's going a little bit slower now because we're all extremely busy. And then there's just my personal stuff too, which is really just taking care of myself. So that's all the different projects that I'm working on right now. So my days are very different from one to the next, right? But the one thing that is consistent from one day to the next is what I do for me first. And so for me, that starts really early in the morning. I wake up at 4:30. That morning routine and that time that I spend doing stuff for me in the morning is what gives me the basis upon which to draw my energy to do everything else in my day. Okay. Mm-hmm. I usually jump in the shower right away just to wake myself up, brush my teeth. Yeah, really important.
Is it a cold shower?
No, it's not a cold shower, but there is a cold shower involved in there at some point. And then I eat breakfast right away as well. So I eat breakfast around 5 a.m. And then usually between 5:30 and 6, I spend that time doing yoga, stretching and meditating essentially at the same time, not necessarily following any like specific yoga routine or anything like that. And then 6 to 6:30, usually I'll take a half hour just to prepare my day. So I sit down, I go back through my meetings that I have for the day, through sort of my list of things that I want to accomplish that day. And I pre-visualize how those meetings are going to go down. I pre-visualize where I'm going to have time to accomplish those different things I want to do. And just the process of going through that prepares me mentally. And then after that, I go hit the gym. And so from 7 to 9, that's my gym routine. And then I only really start working after 9. 3 days, I hit the gym, then I take 1 day off. Then that 2 hours in the morning instead, I spend it doing all the things that you should do at home. So for example, like cleaning, doing laundry, meal prepping. And so the reason why I start with doing all those things in the morning is because those are the things that actually make me happy.
Yeah.
You know, as funny as it sounds, like it's the putting that work into myself, taking action for myself is what actually brings me a sense of personal accomplishment. So no matter how the day goes, I've already accomplished myself. And the cold shower part is that after the gym, I always go in the sauna for 10 to 15 minutes and then take a cold shower. To me, my mental health, my physical health is extremely important, but it's taking the time to do those things for myself in the morning that makes me feel very good about myself, but also puts my body in a state where I can take on whatever happens after that. You know, whatever happens throughout the day, like I have the energy to take that on. After that, it's just going to be a series of meetings. And then at the end of the day is where I take some time for myself again, game a little bit, but not. And then I usually go to bed around midnight. So you might think it's a really short night of sleep.
Yeah, I was going to say.
Yeah, so it is a very, very short night of sleep, but I do nap in the afternoon. Okay, so I actually 1 second.
Oh, wow.
Okay, so When I'm here at the office, we have some offices at the back that are not rented. So I have a camping mattress here, like a foam mattress, and I have a nice pillow. And so, yeah, sometimes I literally just disappear in one of those offices for 20, 25 minutes in the afternoon, and I sleep. And if I'm on the road, I can usually, on the road it's a little bit harder. I sleep in the truck.
Well, it's kind of hard to sleep while you're driving.
Well, yeah, so I pull over and I sleep, but the car is definitely the hardest one. It's a bit harder to sleep in a car, but I can do it. About half of the time I'm able to fall asleep when I'm in the car.
Are you going to make us a little demonstration?
No. No, I'm not going to. The reason behind the sleep thing, like at this time of the year, it's not as bad. I'm not as busy. But when summer comes around, it's the busy time for Northcote. I would start working around 6:37 in the morning, and I would work until like 8 or 9 at night. And when you live that kind of life, it's very tiring and exhausting work. You get home at night, and all you can think about is going to bed because you need to wake up early again the next morning, right?
Yeah.
But then at that point, there's no time for you. It's 100% of your time is dedicated to the business. And it's, for some people, that's okay. But for me, it wasn't.
Since you sleep very little, I'm guessing that for anyone who would even like to wake up at 4:30 in the morning, even if you get 8 hours of sleep, that would be very hard to do. What drives you to wake up that early and not sleep that much?
I wake up to a song.
Which song?
No, I don't remember the name, but I can tell you what it's called. Glory.
Mm.
That's what it's called, by John Legend.
Amazing.
And I have this app on my phone that is called Alarmy. And essentially, you can have different settings on it. But the setting that I have is that you need to take a picture of something to turn off the alarm.
Mm.
And that picture, I'm not kidding you guys, is actually the knob in my shower. Because I need to take a picture of the knob in my shower to turn off the alarm. So I've just set myself up in a way where it's very hard for me to go back to bed past that.
Yeah.
That is the how. Then the why. There's two parts to it. First of all, there's habit. Right? I had to develop the habit of waking up that early to make it easier, because otherwise it's a fight. Every morning it would be just a huge fight to get up that early. I think we all have a natural want to create. And we have a natural need to accomplish ourselves. We have a natural need to become better. Going into 2018, just like everybody else, I set new goals for the year. I think when you take the time to do that kind of stuff, you should really take a lot of time to do it, because there's a lot of introspection involved. You should really think about who you are and what you're doing. Sometimes I'd succeed and sometimes I wouldn't. Whether or not I would succeed, there was always a very different attitude and perspective that would go into accomplishing that goal. Sometimes I'd really have to like push myself to get up and to go after it. And other times I would set a goal, it'd be in the back of my mind, and I would just have the natural want to go after it. At that point, I had to come to a conclusion about this and try to think of why is it that some stuff I really need to push myself and other stuff I don't. And it really just came down to, on a day-to-day, it depends about how I feel about myself. Yeah. If I feel good about myself, I don't need to motivate myself to do anything. I'm very optimistic and I'm on fire. If I don't feel good about myself, then everything else slumps after that. And that is the challenge as an entrepreneur, because it depends on you. How you feel will greatly affect your results, especially in a business. Going into 2018, I realized that as much as I had to set goals for my business and everything else, all those goals are secondary. They're all secondary to the goals that I have for myself. Mm-hmm. And the number one goal that I had for myself this year is that I was going to put myself first. Right? Yeah. You got to give to yourself first before you can give back to other things.
It's like when you take the plane and you got to put your mask first before you help someone else put on
Exactly.
the mask.
Perfect example. Yeah. Perfect example. Every single day starts by accomplishing what I want to accomplish for myself. And that's kind of where I draw that energy from. I draw the energy because I'm happy with who I am.
Thanks a lot for watching. This was the part 2 of the interview with Guillaume. Make sure to subscribe so that you can see the third and last part of the interview. Guillaume talks more about what comes next for him and what's his vision in life. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit the like button and share it with someone that you love. I'm sure it will be so useful for them. Life is so short, guys. There's no time to waste on realizing your dreams. Make it happen.